Hello viewers. Well, time for another blog this week. It's been a quiet week on the channel, so I thought I'd just get a blog up today, update you on bits and pieces that are going on, bit of a catch up as to why there's a few delays. Content will be coming, of course, but every now and again we need to catch up with stuff behind the scenes. So let's go through the week anyway. Of course, we had the British Grand Prix at the weekend, which was good fun. Great to see a great crowd there, always enjoying themselves. So different to other races abroad where they have such small crowds. The British Grand Prix, you know, all the European races in general, you see really passionate crowds coming out to support the drivers and enjoy the racing action. The race itself for me wasn't all that amazing. I think when Nico Rosberg broke down, that was the end of the race for Lewis. Valtteri Bottas for many was a driver of the day and he did a great job. But having said that, he had a car that was miles quicker than anyone he was competing against. And then we had Daniel Ricciardo in third place, who was a long way back, stuck behind a Sauber and suddenly ended up in third place there as well. Good result for him. Shame for Jensen that he could end up on the podium. Pink for Papa Power would have been great for him, but either way, fourth place was good, especially after the, dare I say it, thoughtless comments from Ron Dennis earlier in the week there in pushing him. You know, McLaren really do need to move forward, and we'll see what Eric Boullier can do there. New aerodynamic performance, no doubt, but at the same time, they are building towards next year's car and Honda power. We look forward to seeing what Honda can deliver. Certainly, we hope for a lot better than they were delivering years ago, especially in the late 90s. Some of the power units they were supplying, they weren't great. So I look forward to seeing what technology they can bring. We've had the drama this week of the Frick suspension system being removed, somehow being overused by some teams. Apparently it's going to affect Mercedes. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the cars. We had Jules Bianchi, quickest in testing, over a second faster than Kimi Räikkönen, and of course Kimi Räikkönen recovering from his big crash at Silverstone, which Niki Lauda thought was unacceptable driving from in rejoining the track from Kimi Räikkönen. But Kimi, you know, he just puts his foot down, he does his thing, and you let the guy go. But he did appear to be moving around a lot. Certainly he's not won with that Ferrari. He's never been comfortable with that car this year, and it's a bit of a shame he's not managed to get it dialed in, because we've not seen the best from Kimi this year. But for Jules Bianchi, great result there. We've also seen the new wheels being tested, the 18-inch rims. What do we think of them? Well, it depends very much on the hubcaps. They look almost like bicycle wheels on some of these cars. I've seen them on the Formula E. They look okay on the Formula E, but I think it depends on colour and shape and everything else. It depends if they're going to allow the F1 teams to shape their own rims as well to find aerodynamic performance. That might be interesting, another area to develop. But either way, let's moving forward. It means they can use bigger sports brakes. Changes the braking systems that they can use. That's only a good thing, and that might also reduce the costs in some way and produce tyres that are much more relevant to road cars as well. So certainly in development, it's working for Formula E. We've seen the new it's Michelin tyres that they're using on Formula E, which work in all conditions, apparently very durable, and it's nice to see that Pirelli might get that opportunity. We'll wait and see. Not all gone through yet, but I think those rims will come in due course. So Formula One, it's good fun as ever, but it really does need those two Mercedes up there to be battling. You need teammates battling. As soon as you lose one teammate or another, I find the races do tend to lose a lot of action from them. Obviously, a note to the trophy. Some of you may have seen my take on the trophy. What a piece of junk, basically. A bit of an embarrassment to Santander to be giving away something like that. You do wonder who designed this. I mean, come on, go to a trophy company, get a trophy, get a decent looking trophy. How hard can it be? You know, I mean, Dubai, they give away a waste paper bin, something like that. Some tracks, they give away a big steering wheel, but that's been done now. You know, find something, even trophy-like. I mean, the big gold one that they gave for the RAC, which they gave to Lewis in the end, was better. Yeah, it was like a Wimbledon trophy. That's the way they were developed years ago, but it was better. I prefer something classic looking, or something with a bit of thought and design gone into it. But certainly the plastic thing given away, it didn't work for me, and that video just had to be done. I also like the cringe-worthy moments in the races room following the race, where they go in and drink a bottle of water and just ignore each other for 5 minutes. You're probably going to see a video about that at some point. just saying, because it is quite funny. They're so uncomfortable around each other following a race, and the engineer doesn't know what to say or what to do with himself because he's on TV. And I like those moments, but at the same time, it's horribly cringeworthy. And on the podium, it seems to be very uncomfortable at times. David Coulthard getting booed, I think, as he walked out onto the podium, which was interesting. So there's a bit of F1 chat for those of you who wanted some F1 chat. I'm enjoying the season. I just wish the cars. I think I spoke about Mercedes a couple of years ago. Actually, I always feared they would be right down the road and no one would touch them, and that's obviously why Lewis went there in 2012, because we already knew. We knew in 2010 these engines were brought in to keep Mercedes in the sport, so it has always been something they've been working on, but we'll see how it closes up in the coming months and years ahead. Elsewhere, what have I been doing? Well, I went out to an Elite Dangerous event earlier this week, where I saw David Braben talking about Elite Dangerous behind the scenes, what he's going to be working on, scale of it. It's not a racing game, it's a space flight simulator. Elite's awesome, but the new Elite Dangerous looks absolutely mind-blowing. For me as a gamer, it's probably the most exciting thing out there. That, and of course Alien Isolation, which could be awesome. I'd like to get access to these things, but we can't always at the moment. It's hard enough with the driving games. So what have we got on the channel? Well, we've had obviously the Grid Autosport recently in the MotoGP 2014. I'm sure you've all got lots of opinions on all those. I've personally been enjoying Grid Autosport. I downloaded the PC HD pack, which makes it look a bit better. Frame rate for me is a little bit sporadic. In fact, it goes up and down quite a bit. So it's difficult finding the right balance for me, but that's because I'm using triple screens. Either way, visually looks stunning, great fun to play at the moment. It's what Grid 2 should have been. Enjoying it a great deal. I've got to get back into MotoGP. I haven't had a chance to play it much recently. Obviously, I did the video of the safety car recently and mentioned on there that it still only works in windowed mode for me. If I put it full screen, I find the game just doesn't work properly, so it's a bit bizarre. That was highlighted to them before the game was released, so hopefully a fix will come out with that soon. What else have I been doing recently? Well, there's not a great deal else recently. I've been working a lot behind the scenes, trying to develop VVV in terms of finding the right sponsors, finding the right... Oh, my screen's gone black. We can't have that. We're advertising the website here. We're trying to find the right sponsors. We're trying to find the right partners which enable us to keep going. Running VVV is a lot of work behind the scenes. It's equipment, it's time, it's travel, it's staff, and it's tough in this market trying to get access. And we haven't had the access this year we would like to the new racing games. We're not getting all the access. We've reached out to Drive Club. They've said no. We'll be pushing at Gamescom to get access to Drive Club, to get access to Forza Horizon 2, to get access to probably Formula 1 2014 by then, and we'll see what we can do in bringing you some coverage. I push very hard to get the access with all these people, but we are up against big publications, and that's basically an issue with YouTube and these big publications at the moment, where as we grow, so that encroaches on perhaps another bigger publication's audience as they see it, so they try to block us off to stop us growing. That's basically what's happening in the market, and so we have to grow in another direction, and that's basically how it works. It's hard work keeping the videos and the content up on the website day in, day out, but I do enjoy covering the racing games. I just wish I had a bit more time to focus on one at a time, and of course you have periods like this where I'm busy, so there's no content on the channel except whatever Cody can get up. So we are looking for contributors who want to contribute. Even videos like the one that was sent in to us by Andrew recently of Gran Turismo 6, showing the Lotus and the Toyota. Even videos like that are really helpful. So if you want to record a video and frame it like that, send it in with no commentary. I can happily commentate it and get something up. If there's something you want to show off, even if you have some skills that you want to show off, do let me know, because we're always looking for new contributors. But we are looking to build a stable team of people who put videos out on a consistent basis. And to date, that's something we've not been able to do. People make videos for about 3 weeks and then get bored and do something else. Often a lot of this stuff that you see, it comes with years of dedicated making videos and content and pushing it out there and learning about it as well. So there's a lot to take in when you're working on YouTube and when you're working on something like what we do here on VVV. So I'm going to keep working and, obviously building and trying to get access to these racing games. It is tricky. We'll hopefully see a bit more Project Cars on the channel, because we always can. I did put Project Cars on again recently and found that they changed the handling, and so I wasn't able to get comfortable with it. There's no point showing it until you're up and running. iRacing is something which keeps getting put on the back burner. iRacing is a real problem for me to cover because of the time it takes to actually record, to play it, get up to speed and record it. And when you know that I don't have the time to get on the pace and I've got to record these races and get them up, it just knocking around in last or second to last place really isn't much fun. So I'm hoping to have some time, but if there's anyone out there who's kick-ass at iRacing, can help me out with it, or even some videos for it, then that would be brilliant, because we'd love to show a bit more iRacing, but at the time it's just the editing and the driving, shall I say, not the editing, it's the driving that takes the time on it. And we've spoken to a chap recently to do Forza. My screen's gone quiet. Where is it? Where's my screen? There we go. Oh, it's my Xbox is actually turned off. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on there. Xbox doesn't listen to me anyway. Xbox never listens to me. I give up on the whole Kinect thing. It just doesn't recognise me. It doesn't understand me. And you have to repeat yourself 6 times. Personally, I've never liked Kinect, really, on the whole. So that's it, really, that's it for the this particular blog. Just me talking about randomness. I'm going to be working quite hard on trying to get all this access to games. That's what I'm doing right now, so that later in the year we can get you all the coverage you want. F1 is late this year from Codemasters. Why is it late? Well, probably because they've sent a version to Codemasters, to FOM. They didn't like it. They've sent it back and said we want it fixed, and it's resubmitting that. It takes time. All this stuff takes time. So I've no doubt it's well into the development. We haven't seen the new Dirt game or the new Rally game, whatever it's going to be, when it's announced from Codemasters. That's interesting, isn't it? I was expecting it to have been shown by now. Seems like we're going to have a bit of a busy clash later in the year, or Dirt will wait until this time next year, which will be quite a surprise. 4 years between Dirts, but it depends on, I guess, the conversion to the new consoles, new graphics systems and everything else. But it does seem to be a long time, bearing in mind it was just 2 years between the last 2 iterations, to wait for this particular version. But we will wait and see, no doubt. I reckon there'll be a long build-up to that one. So I think that's it. The crew's been announced. There's going to be lots of free content on the crew. I think that's a good thing. I think that DLC is kind of almost taking over everything now, isn't it, as a money spinner. And I think that it's good when a publisher supports people who have bought the game just a bit more. Not everybody's got the disposable income to pay for packs every single month. Yes, a lot of people have, but there's a lot of people who haven't, and I think that's the problem with microtransactions. And they were overused in Forza last year. Yes, some of you could afford to spend $100 on a car. That's fine. That's good for the people who can afford it, but a lot of people can't. And I think when you buy a game, you look at the old games on my shelf. When I bought a Mega Drive game, that was it. When I bought a SNES game, that was it. I didn't have to buy anything extra. And I couldn't afford it even if I wanted to back in the day. So yes, it's good to hear the crew. I'm very excited about the crew. I think the crew looks awesome. I'm looking forward to trying the beta in a few weeks' time. And we've got some other action as well coming on the new MX vs ATV game, which is coming soon for PS3 and Xbox 360. So hopefully we'll have some coverage on that in the next few weeks as well. So if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, do let me know. There's a little Q&A thread in the link. Nobody ever asked me any questions, so do ask me some questions, and also to help us out, do post on the forum and post on the articles and stuff like that, and I reply to as many of those as I can. Generally speaking, I work more now on replying on the website than do on YouTube. I try my best with YouTube, but with 1,000 videos now, and I turn on YouTube and there's 46 comments waiting for me. I can't keep up with all that every single day. So if you haven't had a response from me and you're still watching this video, apologies for that. It really is just down to the fact there is just one of me working on all this stuff, and it does take time to get it all together, and I don't always have the time to respond. And I notice a lot of the times that the comments are actually answered actually in the video that they're actually watching. So I generally don't answer a comment when I know I've already answered it in the video. So that's it for the moment. What am I looking forward to then? So over the summer, obviously Gamescom, we're going to be, I'll be there at Gamescom filming bits and pieces there. We'll ask for access to all the big racing titles. It looks unlikely we'll get access to Drive Club. Sony are really not being very helpful yet, but we'll see. Hopefully that will change. We should get some good access for you guys on the crew. Obviously, we're hoping, come on Codemasters, help us with Formula One, because, I'd like to do some great content on Formula One. I have a lot of plans for F1, and if we could find the right backers and supporters for those plans, we could do a lot more with it in terms of the access that I can get from Formula One. So it would certainly be great for that content. And other than that, just planning where we're going in the future. We're looking at working more with the community. There's some big announcements coming in the next few weeks in terms of community, what we can do there, and some stuff that we're working on. Because what I want to do is bring YouTubers together. I want to, even if not always with myself, in terms of I'd like to help the community and bring people together in terms of collaboration and everything else. I find YouTube's a really difficult place to contact people and collaborate with people and stuff like that, and I want to bring more community members together so they can help each other out. And if VVV can help with that in some way, then that'll be great. I'd prefer it to be more of a community hub in that way. So there's some things I'm working on. The website, we'll have some announcements soon on that as well, and there'll be a little video blog to support it. So that's a lot of it for this video. I think we've covered a lot of stuff. We've covered the racing, we've covered the gaming. I think now it's just a case of me cracking on, doing some work, some more racing videos next week. I expect it's going to be a little bit of MotoGP. We've still got a next car game video to come up. Not so keen on the new handling, not so keen on the changes to some of the courses myself. But I'm going to discuss that more in the videos. And then that'll be it until later in the summer, then, when we have all this other bits and pieces coming. Hopefully some F1 soon, crew soon, and that will take us up to Gamescom. But we're going to keep pushing. I'm always going to be pushing with these guys to try and get access to their games. Forza Horizon. What do I think of Forza Horizon? Looks lovely. Am I sold on it yet? Absolutely, it's great. It's for Xbox One owners. Go out and buy it. I mean, you may as well. There's not a massive amount of range on there to choose from on the new consoles. Is it going to keep you going for ages? I don't know. I mean, for me, the handling on Forza Horizon and just the general feel of it was just... It just didn't capture me. It didn't grab me. It didn't make me say, wow, this is the best game ever. But I did enjoy the rally stuff with a pad. It was throwaway rally, arcade rally action, but it was fast and furious and fun for what it was. Drive Club, on the other hand, played it last year, and the handling was way too simplistic for me. You lift off the power, you go into a corner. It wasn't rigid. It was honestly one of the easiest games I've ever played. And I think that they needed more depth in that handling, and I hope they've got it. But it's so difficult to tell from videos. And I speak to people and I hear them talking about PGR3, and I think, well, gamers will know. Well, I played a lot of PGR3. That's an understatement. And I was right at it as well. So I haven't seen that PGR3 element in it yet, in the handling I've seen. But I would like to play it and see where it is and what it's like with a wheel, because PGR3 was dreadful with a wheel. Absolutely terrible. I know. I bought the Xbox wheel to play with it, and I just felt the car was bouncing from side to side. It was just dire. So that's something I'm going to look to try out. But that's it for this video. Thought I'd have a little ramble today, just a blog to keep you guys updated with what's been going on behind the scenes. I'll be working hard to get this access, to keep on growing with VVV and what we're doing, to find what we need to grow. And like I said, I welcome your questions as well on the forum. Do support us on the forum. Support us with the comments. That's really what we need. Follow us on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. And as ever, there'll be more from me very soon.